thing. What a lot of people don't understand is, his argument is that Pakistanis inherently are grooming and it's got something to do with Islam. All I said on there that that's not the case. You get me? And told him that you're not going after the white paedophiles. So I didn't really say too much. Only thing I got wrong is the Saudi Arabia age of consent. And I put my hands up. You get me? I'm not an expert on Saudi. I don't even know why I spoke up for Saudi, to keep it 100. But everything else that man said, for example, I said something that a lot of people don't
And
really
you was being cut a lot.
Yeah.
You was being cut a lot.
But you see the specifications thing. You see that specifications thing I'm talking about, emotional, mental, and physical harm is haram completely in the Quran. So that's one of the specters that the scholars take to decide the ages of consent. That's why in Muslim countries, the highest ages of consent in the world are in Muslim countries. And it's not even an age of consent, it's an age of marriage. And my main thing is in the West, a 40-year-old man can sleep with 20, 16-year-old girls and dash them. You can't do that in any Islamic state. You know what I'm saying? So that was my point. People know, man, ban out the obviously me personally, I've got 2 daughters, so that Aisha conversation's always been uncomfortable for man. But other than that, man know the deen throughout from front
I'm
to
not
back.
saying you can't
Man know stuff about the deen.
No, but hey, Kron, listen, man know the deen as well. I'm Gambian. That I'm born with the deen.
So when you're talking about the deen, when you're talking about the deen,
who's Gambian?
Wait,
who's Gambian?
Now listen, wait 1 second, Spray. But when you're talking about the deen, we're not talking about music. We're not talking about you have to have some level of respect in your voice and questioning. Like, because we're brothers, right? I talk to the brothers with respect in it. I mean, it's not one of their brothers that are like the half brothers or the man, allow it, bro.
No,
so I'm
fam,
saying,
I know what he means though. I know what he means.
Talk
He's
to him with
nothing wrong.
Yeah, no,
Ras
that's what
even knows what he means.
No, I don't want him to not speak to Ras. I'm not telling him don't speak to Ras. I'm just saying that, listen,
No,
it's
but I'm
not
saying
yesterday.
Ras even knows what he means. Me and Ras have spoke.
Yeah. No, but I know Shaolin, so I'm saying before it goes that way.
No, but he didn't sound like he was being rude.
Brother. I know the brother, innit?
Okay, so
I'm telling you, I'm just before it goes that way, the same way as when people try it with you, please. Right now we're having a good one, innit? Yeah, so there's a time for banter in it.
No,
but
let him talk. Let him say why, innit? Let him say why.
But Spray, listen, I want you
let him say why. I'm good with that.
Come on, bro. Like, we sat down with fucking Tommy Robinson. Like, why ain't we gonna let him say what he's saying?
Brother, relax. I'm telling him he can say everything he wants to say, but just keep it above board. No. Let me don't finish my sentence. Don't just take the disrespect out of your voice and questioning when you're questioning the man then, because Ras is a person that if I was standing there and Ras will tell you this and I'm just going blind. You wouldn't even get the rest of your question out. I'll just smash an ashtray in your face. Who are you talking to? That's my little brother. That's my little brother. But obviously, Shaolin's my brethren. So even if he was in the flesh, I would just say the exact same thing to him. Chat to him a bit different than that, because he ain't like these other guys. He's banging out the real way. Like, you know what I mean? So even if a man made a mistake, just conversate how we would conversate if we was in the masjid. Forget the people that are here and all that sort of stuff. If you're talking to Spray or me, where like you can talk to me however you like or whatever, but just please don't talk to RLE like that, and don't talk to Ras like that, because it's a blessing to have him here. He ain't even got Twitter. It's a blessing.
True stories.
You man are not gonna run him away with ignorant questions or anything, but any question about the deen leads to knowledge or information. So I'm not trying to silence you. I would have kicked you off the stage. I'm saying that ask what you like, but just please don't wind him up, please, man. Ask him anything you like, but please, because he'll just bounce. He don't care about all this. Yeah, he'll just bounce. And I'm like, no, what? I'm trying to show these man, come over here so we can have some knowledgeable conversations and that. So if we keep chasing the man them away with silly questions or whatever, or trying to attack who they are, you're shooting the messenger, innit? And this is a messenger with a big message, bigger than me. Like, you mean, I'm an MC and I'm going to tell you about MCing. Yeah, please, man. Just only the questions about the deen that have to be respectful and that, because it will get to my emotions quick. That's all I'm saying. Shaolin's a brother, you know. He's not a kafir. I'm not saying.
Yeah, I know. Gambian.
Yeah. So I'm just saying respectfully as an older brother, innit? Just so we have a good convo. That's all I'm saying. I'm not. But anyway, let's not talk about it too much.
Yeah, make him go too, man.
Yeah, I just didn't want it to go to. I could hear it was going. Yeah, and you're about fuckery, so you don't mind. You chuck Ras to the wolves. But anyway, sorry. Let me not make it mad, innit? But I'm just
but let's have a conversation.
No disrespect on Russ's thing. I know what Chronic's saying. Chronic just thinks I'm on a wild man thing. But I've seen man with real knowledge of the deen. When man talk about Aisha, they break it down in a way that man's got no rebuttal. That's what I was saying. Like,
bro, the Aisha. Hey, listen.
See when man have got the wisdom.
The
Aisha thing just seems like a myth.
Listen. It's not even a wisdom thing, bro. You know how you dead the Aisha argument. Tell them Google how old Virgin Mary was when she had
12.
Simple. I'm not even trying to be rude, but it's as simple as that. The world was different back then.
Yeah, to be honest, that was the culture back then. Even English kings were marrying young girls.
100 years ago in this country, the age of consent was 13. 200 years, the age of consent was 10. This is
the lowest. It was 8.
200 years.
It was 8 at one stage, bro.
Yeah, the people them. It's an easy rebuttal.
We're talking about.
But are you listening, family? Let me just quickly say something. Let me just quickly answer the brother why I didn't answer like that, because I could have answered like that. You get me? But you see, because I went speaker's corner, that's something called whataboutism. So when someone makes a point and then you make a point about their thing to nullify your point. But my point isn't about what age Aisha was. My point is about that there's specifications within Islam of when a girl can get married. And the specifications of that are down to the physical, emotional, and mental harm. So when the scholars are deciding on what the age of consent should be, that's taken into consideration. So my answer was for people who want to know, like that was an answer that made me come to the deen. The telling me about what Mary done 100 years ago, that still wasn't sitting with me. I got an 8-year-old and I got a 10-year-old now. So I'm just looking at them now. So I just needed to know within the deen.
Look after as a man.
Yeah, I'm a single dad of the both of them, you get me? I had to fight for them, you get me? So I just had to know, for me personally, I had to know that Islam protected young girls. That's all I needed to know. So when I'm giving the answer, I'm giving the answer to the crowd that's like me. There's bare man that are looking in on the thing. They don't care if you do the whataboutism. Content over everything. He's one of them. He don't care like about the whataboutism, about what they done 15 years ago or 20 years ago. Man are just looking at the thing now. Man don't even rate a lot. Like a lot of our granddads, even if you look at it, bro, like a lot of the age gaps was mad. You get me? But I just know what man's dealing with now. You get me? But I do understand, like I understand the point about the past and that and how things were different. I also understand that within Islam, when they even say about the consummation of a marriage, that doesn't mean sex is that. It's not talking about sex. It's talking about when a woman lives in the house. You get me? Because Muslims don't specify how or where or when they have even in intercourse. And he's only had 2 wives that actually had children. So we don't know what man was doing in his personal life. And man's not even trying to, do you get me? I'm saying that these man just use this as an argument to try and beat Muslims. But for me, I just gave the argument that I know that my brother Isa. But the only thing I'd say, my brother, is when my brother Isa gave it to me, may Allah grant him Jannah, yeah, cause he died in the Ramadan he died in the Ramadan of like COVID. You get me? So. But he died on a day when the gates of Jannah was open. You get me? So it was deep. You get me? But he was the one that broke down what I'm saying. But he broke it down to me like from Quranic. You get me? And what I wish I had on that day was the Quranic. But I didn't go there. If I keep it 100 afterwards, even before we left there, bro. Ark Spray, he's here right now. Before we left there, I said I should have never spoken on the Pakistani thing. I should have never spoken on the Saudi thing. I should have never spoken on the Aisha thing. I should have just let him do his rant, wait for the racism, and bad him up in the battle.
That's what we came. That's what you lot don't realize. That was my main. That was what it was supposed to be about.
Yeah,
I didn't even know this guy was on some Islamophobia till that morning. Like when I researched it, when I first drew for Ras, it was a case of, is he racist or is he not racist?
Yes.
His whole thing's Islamic. That's his main tune.
I don't think he likes Pakistanis as well.
Nah, he hates Pakistanis, man.
He blatantly don't like Pakistanis.
No, what it is
Islam.
Let me show you, man, something. Yeah. Let me just break it down to you. Let me show you how smart.
Someone put his stuff in the jumbotron.
You man. Tommy's smart, yeah. So what Tommy done is, yeah, he hates Pakistanis with a passion, right? But what he's saying is, every Muslim's deen teaches them to groom. Every Muslim. That ain't just Pakistanis. But he's talking specifically about deen. But guess what he does then? He makes black people pick up the argument like Sarah Garvey did. And what that does is it creates a division between... Yeah, and what that does, it creates a division between black people. So then non-Muslims and black Muslims are having a beef thing, and the far right man them are looking at the side laughing. You see the ride out that we done for Little Sis the other day? We had everyone there. Muslim, Christian, Rasta, you get me? Every race, you know what I'm saying? That's how we need to step on the devil. You get me? We need everyone. You get me? Just as long as they're righteous and they care about the children, we need everyone, steppers, stepping on the wicked, no matter where they come for our children, blood. So everyone send out that ripple effect where man see our youths and man say, yo, it's not that. You get me? So that's why I even went against Sarah and Tommy Robinson. That's why it's for me, it was chestnut checkers. You see that conversation? Every brother, listen to me, our Gambian brother. Every brother from my community, because remember, I'm not only dealing with the community, I'm dealing with every estate on every end so we can reach every youth. You get me? And we can get the 13-year-olds and downwards and we can let them skip this gangster phase to the best of our ability. You get me? That's my mission. You get me? So for anyone in my community, everyone understood the debate. You get me? Everyone understood. Everyone was on my side because we all come up in hoods where we got brethren from different religions, we got brethren from different races, and if you diss them, we'll ride out for them because they are peoples. You get me? That's how we all came up. So for that crowd, which is smaller than the far right crowd, because remember, thousands of them turned up the other day. So I knew on a PR stunt, I was going to lose on the comments every time because Tommy's got a bigger following than man, and them far right man got badded up at the Battle of Trafalgar. So that's their get back in it. Remember they were saying Raspect.
I don't even read in the comments, man. You get me? If
I haven't read them, but I've heard about them. I've heard I'm getting ripped.
Yeah, but Russ, even from me, I'm not a far right guy. Obviously, man, are on your side, but it seemed like he didn't have the composure, like he was just itching to get to a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, sometimes you just got to let him land. Like you was like on him. Like even Sprayer to say like sometimes like yo, like let my man land. You know what I'm saying?
He's just passionate. He
but
just know how.
It's the passion. It's the passion.
It's better. At least you're being genuine, man. I feel like certain times, man, go there. They remove all their emotion from the subject to try come across as more intelligent, right? Like if you really care about something, you're gonna raise your voice. You understand?
Yeah,
no, but not in a debate. In a debate situation, it doesn't work.
No, I hear you. I'm not saying it's right, but
no, it just doesn't work. It could be right. You get what I'm saying? It could be right, but it just doesn't work.
But this is what I'm saying though. Like, but that's my point though. My point is that obviously, Arx Young Spray. When I left there, I've always said it, bruv. I want to be like Malcolm X, calm, cool, and collected, dropping the point sharp. That's how I want to be. But I got something in my chest that don't really allow me to be like that. You get me? And I know my people will, even if they know that. I know that everyone that's my people, even if they'll know Raspect, calm down, rare, they'll also understand. Do you get me? Like because they can feel the same fire in their chest, innit? They've just learned to control it a bit better than man. You get me? But I'm promising the man them that I'm trying my best. You get me? I'm trying my best, and I'm always gonna keep working on myself. You get me? And try to represent, because I'm trying to represent everyone to the best of man's ability. You get me? And it's difficult.
I'm thinking anything, but man's not trying to better the thing is just mad in here.
But the good thing about it is, off the back of the Tommy thing, yeah, all the steppers stepped out for man. So you see, as soon as Little Sis got touched, blood, we had like blood. It was mad, blood. We had like 5,000.
Timing,
but it was mad, bro.
It was
like
timing.
The energy that came off the back of that, and the people. Because remember, everyone's watched the Tommy thing, you know, like. That means that people care about the actual stepping the youths more than they care about being able to speak good with Tommy. None of us, them man there are real slivery snakes. They can twist up most man. You'd have to probably send Mohammed Hijab or one of them man over there. You get me? Because most man, the way them man are slippery.
You need a scholar to chat to them man there.
Yeah. But if I catch him lacking again, trust me, it's long still, because I'm going to be so calm and collected, and all I'm going to do is ask questions. I'm not going to answer nothing. Politician style, you get me? I'm just going to ask questions.
I'm going to have to line up a next one where man's just, you get me? We have actually done research.
Yeah, but
this, and I don't say madness. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm staying away from certain topics, and if I do have an answer about a topic, more I'm going to ask him a question specifically. Like, do you think the dean teaches grooming? Do you get me? Like, simple. I'm just asking him what his answer is. You get me? Like, or I might not even get into the dean. I might just keep it on the racism thing still, yeah.
Yeah. I think when you go against him, you have to be a bit prepared and organised, so you know what you're trying to do. Yeah, that's the only thing about the thing. Yeah, I think sometimes with your thing, it's perfect. Don't get me wrong, it's perfect, but a couple little structured questions, so you know
But you know
where
what's
it's
mad
gonna
as well?
go.
Sometimes like don't do the cover up thing, because every religion teaches man you can kill the other religion, you know.